Welcome to the Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Josh Kimmel, Dave Campbell, and Justin Bowerly.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast, Christmas Eve edition, where we're going to break down your waivers for your championship weekend. If you made it to the championship, congratulations. If you roster Jalen Hurts, or you played against Jonathan Taylor, or pretty much if you're me, you didn't make it to the finals because of those two reasons. But that's totally fine. We're not here to talk about me. I hate fantasy. I really do. I hate it. It's not funny, Justin. It's not. So let's bring in Justin Bowerly, the man who beat me because and I didn't hold it against you, and I wasn't mad at you, and I didn't talk in the chat. And as soon as Hurts went down, and this is no joke for anyone that's watching, when Jalen Hurts went down, I turned off the television, and I didn't turn it back on until I did turn it back on. And then I saw Jonathan Taylor run for a 78-yard touchdown or whatever it was against me in another league where I dominated that season, most points for, number one seed. I put it against the 6th seed. Of course, he had Taylor. Like, it was a nightmare. So then after Taylor ran for that touchdown, I turned the TV off again and didn't watch football again until the Bucs game because I had major implications. I needed Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans to score like 30 points combined, and they did. And I that's the only thing that actually out of like 9 semifinals, I only advanced in 2. And it's mainly because everyone had Taylor against me or I had Hurts. And it's just fuck fantasy, man. Like I'll say it. I don't care. Fuck Christmas, fuck fantasy. But I'm here to help you guys out.
I win 66% this weekend. 6 of my 9 rosters made it to the championship. So 6 of the 9 in the semifinals. So I'm doing pretty good. Thankful that they're still there. Josh, when Jalen Hurts went down, I was just like, oh no. Like I was kind of like, hey, but like at the same time, that's not the way I want to win.
We'll go through it. I'm not mad. Hold on.
I wanted to win.
I'm going to go through it real quick. There's 2 people I want to tell them to fuck off. There's 2. One of them's you. Not because, and I'm not mad at you, but you're like, oh, what happened to Hurts? And I saw it, and I said, and that's TV's already been turned off at that point. So I just want to say, fuck you.
I was just saying, no. I wasn't watching I wasn't watching the game.
T. Higgins better slow down or I'm going to lose this matchup. Fuck you. You were never going to lose that matchup because Jalen Hurts went out. And then the other one is Dirtbag Dave. Because in this one league where I didn't deserve to win and I wasn't going to win and I was okay with not winning, he was going to blow me out as he should. He's undefeated. Still is. At 1:30, my team is doing well. Right? My team's doing, oh, I knew you were going to win. He's texting me. Fuck you too, Dave. Honestly, both of y'all. Because I'm sick of that. I'm sick of it.
I wasn't gloating. I was really like, oh, Jalen Hurts is out. Like, what happened? Like, I was like, what? I didn't see the play. I was watching the Colts game at the time. And then I saw he went out with a concussion. I was like, oh, I literally, I was like, that really sucks. And then I saw Brian Robinson not doing shit on your team.
2 fumbles.
Yep. Trey McBride not doing anything on your team. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, Jaden Daniels scored 36.4. Like, if Jalen Hurts would have played, he would have had to score 36 points to stay in that game because of how close it was at the end. And that would have, I mean, you would have won if he had 36 more points.
It's fine. It's fine. That's just the way fantasy goes. Like, it's 2024. I'll forget about it by next year. Yeah. And I'll be bad next year. That's just the way it is. I played this game too long to be mad about fantasy anymore.
Look, your team did great. I mean, literally got hot at the best time of the year, at the end of the season, because you follow our advice on the waivers. You follow your own advice on the waivers. No, I mean, you did good. Last year, your team was trash, and this year it's not. So
nothing changed from last year. It's just injuries. That's the only thing that changed from last year to this year. I was injured last year, and I was injured this year. If you look at my team, and I know this is not break down Josh's team, nothing's changed. My team's been the same for the past 3 years. It's just people get hurt on my team a lot. It's fine. We're going to move forward into waivers. Again, congratulations if you've made the finals. If you have made the finals, drop the comments below. Who are your matchups? Who's your biggest question marks? We'll be live on Christmas I guess Christmas. What's Christmas? If it's Christmas Eve today, what's the word for post Christmas? Is it just post Christmas?
December 26th.
Okay, December 26th. We'll be back on December 26th, Thursday. We're usually live. Well, we're usually live on noon at
Yeah, we're
Wednesdays
not going to be
for
live
Christmas.
tomorrow for obvious reasons. I think my family might kill me.
That's fine, and I don't want to do it. I'll be putting together Legos and all that fun stuff. So, anyway, let's get right into the waiver news. And I know it's Christmas Eve. A lot of you guys are busy running around. If you're watching this afterwards or you're listening to this afterwards, driving around, maybe you're going to the parents' house, maybe you're on the way to the in-laws' house, drop a like on that podcast and YouTube OUSFF Pod. And please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That's my Christmas present I want. Also, my birthday is in 5 days.
It's coming up.
Please, for my birthday, I just want to like. Just give me a like, give me a sub.
Oh,
that's all I ask for.
Should we talk about injuries real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're going right. Hold on. Let me ask you something. I know you're talking about injuries real quick. I just want to ask you this one thing before we get into like real news.
Yeah.
Like, real news. When you asked me to wear a ugly sweater today.
Yeah.
Where's yours?
It's right here.
That is a jacket.
No, this is literally
okay.
Like
well, I mean, all right. I thought a sweater would be like something without.
It's a cardigan. Well, I couldn't wear my other ugly sweater; it was inappropriate. So, the kids on the show listening in could not. It was a naked Santa in front of a fireplace with a package in front of his package. And you couldn't see it anyway, so I was just like, well, I'll go with this one instead. Anyways, okay, so
mine lights up, by the way. Should I light mine up?
Mine did. It's old though, so. James Conner had a knee injury last week. His status remains up in the air for week 17. So running backs might be important. James Conner, we were talking about on Friday, could be a league winner. Well, hopefully he got you to the championship. Alec Pierce is still in concussion protocol and is advancing well. We'll see if he returns for week 17. Let's see. I did not read through any of this, guys. I'm so sorry. Travis Homer has a hamstring injury. He missed practice yesterday.
No.
If that matters. If you have Travis Homer, you probably aren't in the championship. Zach Charbonnet limited at practice on Monday with an elbow injury, which is big news because Kenneth Walker missed his estimated practice on Monday as well with his ankle injury. So both Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker both not doing great right now. Which honestly is the big one there. George Pickens did log a full practice on Monday with his hamstring injury. They do play tomorrow against the Chiefs, so we'll see what happens there. Xavier Legette still considered day-to-day with his hip injury. He missed last week, so that's important. And yeah, Jalen Hurts concussion remains. His status remains up in the air for week 17. They obviously do need to win this week. So hopefully they're going to hope to have him back. J.K. Dobbins has his practice window opened. So that's kind of important for the Chargers, getting him back. So if you roster Gus Edwards for that one great game he had, his time might be coming to an end again. And then Justice Hill missed practice because of a concussion also. Oh, geez. Zay Flowers also missed practice on Monday with a shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, expect to be in a better place week 17. He did play this last week, so that's good. I don't know why this is in the injury report, but Sam Darnold and the Vikings yet to have a contract discussion, so that hit the injury report. And Marquise Brown expected to see snap count continue to increase. That's important. Drew Lock, shoulder injury, will undergo an MRI. Cedric Tillman remains in that concussion protocol. Tyrone Tracy dealing with an ankle injury. There's a lot of injuries here in the end of the season. David Njoku still dealing with a knee injury. Dorian Thompson-Robinson dealing with a calf injury. Tank Dell's out for the season with a dislocated knee and ACL tear. That looked disgusting. That was like Rashee Rice level disgusting. So yeah, lots of players out. If you're in the championship, you probably have some of those guys, especially like Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, maybe Tank Dell, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. You probably have these guys on your roster, so we are here to help you out. But yeah,
I don't think so. I think if you're in the championship game, you have Gus Edwards and you have Jonathan Taylor, and that's all you have because that's all you have. Those are the only people that did.
Is that because that's who people had against you?
Yeah, some idiot started Gus.
I don't have any of those two in a champion. Oh, I have Jonathan Taylor in a championship game.
Oh, H-Han too, by the way, freaking balled out. Anyway, I can't get over it. I've been stewing for days. Let's get to the waivers. Amir Abdullah, this guy just won't go away. He scored a touchdown in each of the last 2 games. He is going against New Orleans this week. He did go against Atlanta and Jacksonville the past 2 weeks, and he's been pretty solid, racking up over 12 targets in those 2 weeks. He's been a guy who's kind of been on this list, and kind of been off this list because I can't really trust him fully. But he's been getting the job done. He's rostered in 25% of the leagues. Like, if this is the time you want to pull the trigger on an unknown and you're banking on a touchdown, go for it. But if you need running back help in the worst way, let's say you started Gus Edwards last week and you're not satisfied with his 2 touchdowns, you go ahead and go grab Amir Abdullah because there's no way Gus is doing that again. Ain't no way. I would bet $1 million that Amir Abdullah outscores Gus Edwards this week. $1 million, $1 billion, if I had it. But I like Amir Abdullah this week. He's been in the passing game used very, very well. This isn't the first time he's been a pass catcher for a football team. So, yes, I love Amir Abdullah this week at New Orleans. How say you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on an Amir Abdullah train the last couple of weeks. I told a lot of people to start him last week. They thought I was crazy, and they didn't start him. 19.5 on your bench is kind of sucking, really. The last 2 weeks, he has 13 targets in the passing game. That's huge in the last 2 weeks. 7 and 6. I'm assuming that's going to continue they're going to continue feeding him targets, especially with Jacoby Myers not doing as well as he usually does. Since week 11, he's only had 2 games under 10 points. Since week 12, he's only had 2 games under 17 points out of his 5 games. So he has been heavily used in this offense late in the season, and that's mostly because of his work in the passing game. Yeah, Sincere McCormick was there to run the ball. Yeah, they had Alexander Madison to run the ball, but Amir Abdullah is getting all of the passing work in that rushing offense. So expect to continue to see that. They do play New Orleans, who does give up the 5th most points to running backs on the season. So this is a good person to slide into your roster if you need him, because you have an injury to Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet or Alvin Kamara or any of the running backs that we've listed before. I would be picking up Amir Abdullah if I was in the championship this week.
Yes, for sure. The next guy on our list is a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been on fire lately, scoring 4 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks alone. He did go against the Vegas Raiders, Dallas Cowboys, but the Chargers game was pretty impressive. Jalen McMillan is a guy we've been on and off on all year. It does look like he's finally found a soft role in this, and I mean soft as in not sure if Chris Godwin's going to come back next season and re-sign with the Buccaneers. He is a free agent going into the year or the offseason, so that doesn't matter. That's dynasty talk. But for Jalen McMillan next week, he's going against Carolina, who the Buccaneers need to win this football game to stay alive. And they're going against Carolina, who give up the 10th most points, as you see down there, to the wide receiver position. Or is that 10th most points overall?
10th most points over to the wide receiver position.
Yep, to the wide receiver position. So Jalen McMillan has been slotted in there. He's taken over the Sterling Shepard situation where we saw on Sunday night Shepard dropped 2 balls that hit his chest. 2. So it looks like, and then after that, he got injured and didn't go back into the game. And Jalen McMillan stepped in just perfectly fine, being that nice compliment to Mike Evans. This is the rookie receiver that we wanted earlier in the season. He did score a touchdown week 1 and like, oh, look at that. He's going to be involved. Then he kind of went away for a while until Big Mike and Chris Godwin got hurt. Didn't do much with his opportunity. Didn't score any double-digit points since week 1 all the way up until week 14, which was 3 weeks ago. Like I said, he's getting more comfortable in this offense. I would be 1,000% comfortable starting him in my lineup if you had a wide receiver that was injured this week or a wide receiver that's just fallen off. Let's be honest. There's a lot of guys that have fallen off the face of the planet, and I would be very comfortable starting McMillan this week.
100% agree. The fact that he's only rostered in 42% of leagues is crazy to me. It just tells you that people that get eliminated probably aren't paying attention to fantasy anymore, and the teams that are still in it probably have depth. But if you're dealing with a wide receiver injury, or you just want somebody that's going to score you 16 plus points, this is the guy to go get. He's being targeted heavily, and he's getting the touchdowns. He's the a more effective version of Nick Westbrook Akine.
I mean, he's way more effective than
Way more effective. He gets actual targets. So
in actual catches and actual yardage. I agree with that from an actual quarterback as well.
yeah, Raphael agrees. Yeah.
Raphael's my dog. All right. So speaking of my dogs, here's another one that I would never put on this list. I would never even think about starting, but I'm looking at his numbers. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? He did play Cincinnati. He did play Indianapolis back-to-back weeks. And then before that, played Jacksonville, didn't do so well. 21 targets in the past 2 weeks. Chig Okonkwo for your Tennessee Titans. Did I say it right? For your Tennessee Titans going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who give up the booty to the tight ends. This is a nice streaming play. If you, again, listen, there's only it's McBride and Bowers at this point, and there's everyone else. To me, I mean, maybe Kelsey if you want to throw him in there. But let's be honest, if you have McBride, you're probably out. So I'm not talking to you because you have McBride. You're probably in a third place game. For real. Like, that's not even a joke. You're probably in a third place game. So what you need to do if you're in a first place game and you're streaming tight ends back to back to back weeks, like some people do, go ahead and grab this guy. He's free. No one's going to be picking him up. It's just you and the title guy, the person you're playing against. That person that you're playing against probably has Bowers. So you're screwed either way. But go ahead and get Chig. He's better than any other option out there right now. I mean, Justin, can I just be real with these people? Like, I'm not over here BSing you. Oh, yeah, this
not every team played the teams that you played. Like,
I had a lot of matchups and a lot of the same whatever. But it's fine. So, again, Chig, if you actually made it to the league, to your championship game with McBride, please send me a picture. Please.
I
DM
don't
me.
think I roster McBride at all.
Josh Kimmel, OUS on Twitter. I don't go on there much, but if you DM me and you tag me, I will go look at it. I'll go, congratulations, buddy. You did it. Good job. That's what I'll say to you. Go grab Chig. Go ahead and talk about Chig for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Chig has been doing great. 21 targets, like you mentioned, since Mason Rudolph has came into play. He wasn't really heavily used a lot in games with Will Levis, but now that Mason Rudolph is playing, Chig was the main factor why the Titans made a comeback against the Colts and only lost by 8 and not like 30. So he was very effective. Doesn't need the touchdowns to score a lot of points because he's been getting the targets and the catches. He is a heavy part of that offense, and I would not be upset about getting him. I'm going to look just because Travis Kelce isn't doing great and he plays tomorrow, so might go get Chig. I know he didn't do great against Jacksonville literally 3 weeks ago, but Will Levis.
That was 3 weeks ago. That was 3 weeks ago. That's in the past.
It was a long time ago. That was before the playoffs even started.
Yeah, it's before the playoffs even started. It was a different month, so chill out, people.
Yeah.
Raphael, injuries definitely are the theme of the year. I would say the overall general theme of fantasy football this year is injuries. I don't think we've ever had a year more snake bitten than 2024, and I cannot wait to get out of this year. I just can't wait.
We forgot about like the 14 quarterbacks that went down last year.
Dude, that's nothing compared to what happened this year. I promise you. That's
every year. I'm gonna clip this. Like, I'm clipping this next year. Like, we're gonna promise.
I mean, we can go down the line if you want in a recap show of like, you know what? We're gonna give out an award. Most injured player this year. That's the
CMC.
Player that tanked. I can't wait. We got to come up with those awards, guys. For real, the award show is going to be super fun. It's going to be probably when did we say it's going to be? Let's plug it now. When did we say?
Around the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, around the Super Bowl time, we're going to give out our fantasy awards. We're going to do something fun, something that you don't ever see ever. Definitely not on ESPN. We're going to have a panel, and we're going to debate our MVPs, rookie of the year, all these fun things. And we're going to have a moderator grade us. It's nothing like Around the Horn. Never heard of that show, but it's going to be something like,
no idea what you're talking
about. No idea, but it's going to be super fun. So watch that. Keep out, look for that. I'm excited for that. Next guy on our list. Rashad Bateman. What do you?
We were talking about this guy. In
Oh, I can.
17.
I can. You know who started this guy against me? Last week, knocked me out of the playoffs. Dirtbag Dave. Dirtbag Dave started Rashad Bateman against me last week. Not this week. Last week, and knocked me out of the playoffs. I've had the worst fucking run in playoff history. I really have. I'm getting beat by Rashad Bateman. I'm getting beat by Jalen Hurts getting down. I'm getting beat by everything this year. Like, just name a thing, it's going to happen against me. It's fine. Totally fine. So Rashad Bateman, he's scoring touchdowns left and right. Man, he's got a lot of touchdowns this year. He's not getting the targets though. That's what I fear for this guy. He's only getting 8 targets in the past 2 weeks. If you want to count the week before that against Philadelphia, where he actually did play and got 0 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 points, he's only getting 8 targets in the past 3 weeks. That's not great. That's not someone I want to rely on. That's not someone I want to start in a playoff matchup, Dave. But you did.
What's he doing right now in the championship? Or
yeah. He actually is. He actually is. He's 6-8 too, by the way. He was 6-8 on the season. It's awesome. It's great. It's fucking great. It's the best.
We got to week 17 and Josh is unfiltered and does not care about anything.
It's Christmas, you know? You know what? It's Festivus. And I'm airing out my grievances to everyone. I have a bunch of grievances.
I thought that was supposed to be like yesterday.
I don't know when it was, but I missed it. We weren't live during Festivus, so I'm airing out all my grievances today. I am so mad today.
Yeah, that was yesterday, bud.
Okay, well, yesterday we weren't live, so I'm celebrating today. I'm acknowledging it today. Anyway.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
I'll get back on track. I'm going to get back on track, people. Listen, holiday season. I'm sure this guy made me wear a sweater, and it's got to be at least 80 degrees outside. Like, I'm freaking burning up right now.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he texted me, hey, bro, you got a holiday sweater, an ugly sweater? I looked out the side. I'm like, it's 80 degrees. This guy wants to put on a sweater?
Oh, God.
Romeo Dobbs, 48% rostered. He's going against Minnesota, and we know Minnesota sucks against the pass. We already know. Most points given up at the wide receiver position. I actually love this pick. I would take I don't know why we have Bateman ranked above Dobbs, but that's okay. Because you know what? It's all subjective, objective, whatever you want to say. But you know what? I know why. Because Dobbs freaking is in and out, up and down. He'll have a big game, low game, big, just like Bateman. Bateman has less to deal with because Zay Flowers is injured. I get it now. Just did the math in my head. Romeo Dobbs, though, for the Green Bay Packers. Talk about him real quick.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great game against Seattle. Did not have a great game last night against New Orleans. As you mentioned, he's in and out of the offense. Who knows what's going on? But I saw Christian Watson left the game, which is a non-factor. It's whatever. But Minnesota does allow the most points per game, and that's why he is on this list, strictly because of that. Otherwise, I probably want to have him on the list if he was playing against literally any other team. But this team needs to win games. They're going to have to use all of their wide receivers, and Romeo Dobbs is one of those guys that they're going to have to utilize to potentially beat Minnesota to try to get closer to second place in the division, to get 5th in the conference. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about Romeo Dobbs. He's not that player for me. But if you need him, it's somebody that's worth a look. If you missed out on McMillan, you missed out on Bateman, missed out on Okonkwo even. We're looking at a flex player here. So
yes, we are. And most of these guys, everyone are flex players going down the list. None of these guys are for sure. I mean, let's be honest, guys. It's championship weekend. We need to start our studs. Even, over this guy, Mr. Touchdown Machine, Mr. 34.8% touchdown rate. I'm talking about Nick Westbrook, Akeen. This dude has 25 catches, 9 for touchdowns. You heard it right. So basically 35% of his catches are touchdowns. I don't know if I could rely on that in my championship game. I don't know if I want to. But if you're in a third place game, I'm down for it. I'm down to gamble. Why not? You're already in the third place game. What are you going to do? Get your money back? Who cares? I think it'd be fun to play him He is going against Jacksonville, who does give up the 5th most points to the wide receiver. That's why he's on this list. He is able to score a touchdown. He's 9. He's got to have more than Tyreek this year.
Yeah.
For sure has more than Waddle. He's got to have more than. I would like to know where he ranks among all wide receivers of the touchdowns, because it's just insane this year. He's basically the Raheem Mostert or the Jamal Williams of receivers, except for he's not awesome like those guys.
He is 5th. He's behind Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Jamar Chase. He's tied with Mike Evans, Brian Thomas, Jordan. No, that's it. Just Mike Evans and
One of these things are not like the others.
Literally, Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Nick Westbrook-Akine, Mike Evans, Brian Thomas. Which one? What?
Yeah, what? The what? Okay. Next guy on our list. We're gonna
Hold
go
on.
I
had they were talking about on the broadcast how he scores on 33% of his plays. So why is Brian Callahan not just throwing the ball to him 30 times a game? Because they would score a lot and win every game, but that's not how statistics actually work. The more yeah, so but yeah, he scores a lot. It's stupid. Next guy on the list, Hunter Henry.
I feel like we've been talking about this guy for
every week.
Literally I think since week 1. Last week he was back to the same old Hunter Henry, but he had 9 targets, 4 catches, 1 touchdown dependent game, 39. He deserves a touchdown dependent game because he has been racking up the yardage and the targets and the catches. He is playing the LA Chargers. They're a very difficult defense. That's why we rated him below Chig. I understand. First, I was going to yell at you, like, what are we doing, Hunter Henry? But I understand he's playing the Los Angeles Chargers. They're very great on defense, very good on defense, actually. They're going against a rookie, Drake May. They might get some pressure on him. They can make some mistakes. Hunter Henry might not have the opportunities like he used to have or like he should have. But I'm still in on it. 5th most targets in the NFL at the tight end position. 6th most catches, 6th most receiving yards. Only 2 touchdowns in the season, though. We want to see that get up, but we only have about 1 more week to do that. I'm a big believer in Hunter Henry. I like what he's done this year. To me, he's been like one of the sneakiest, underappreciated fantasy players of the entire season. And he's still on this list. It just drives me nuts.
Tight end 9 on the season. Who are you rostering that's doing better than Hunter Henry right now?
I mean, there's 8 other tight ends better.
Yeah, but there's 12 teams in the league normally. So unless you're playing in an 8-man league, who are you rostering that's better than Hunter Henry right now?
You know what? Kyle Pitts. Probably. That's what someone's going to tell you. Kyle Pitts.
Probably Kyle Pitts, actually. Yeah.
Someone's going to say, yo, I rostered Kyle Pitts.
Who literally caused Michael Penix to throw an interception. Literally just.
Raphael in the chat with the MVP quote. Dude, put that on a postcard, bro. Put that on a Hallmark. As soon as I dropped Kyle Pitts, my winning streak started. Me too, buddy. Me too. Well, I didn't. Yeah, this guy's a bum. Just Hunter.
Not
Henry,
you, Raphael.
Not you, Raphael. You're the man. But Kyle Pitts, get out of here. I hung out with Zach Blobner. We had him on the show last week. I hung out with him that night. We went out of town. We had a great time. We had a great talk about. He's a big Florida guy. The only team he cares about the most is the Florida Gators. He went there, loves it, is obsessed with them. Right? Obsessed. And we talked about Anthony Richardson. We talked about Kyle Pitts. And I said this to him, and he didn't like this. He didn't like this at all. I said, Brock Bowers, and Dave Campbell told me this earlier, and this is true. We all know this. Brock Bowers is who we thought Kyle Pitts was going to be. I said that to Zach. He's like, oh, that's not fair, bro. That's not fair. He hasn't had a quarterback. Mother effer, he's had Kirk Cousins all season. Brock Bowers has had Gardner Minshew and freaking Aiden O'Connell all season. Cry me a river, buddy. Chomp that. I'm just Festivus continues. Festivus all year long.
Let's answer Tyler's question here. Bryce Young or Matt Stafford if Hurts isn't cleared to play. That is 2024, if I have never heard. Bryce Young was dead, and now all of a sudden he's playing well. 27 points against Arizona. He goes up against Tampa Bay this week. Oh, that's juicy. That's really, really juicy. He played a great game last week. So 17 for 26, only 158 yards, but 2 touchdowns. He actually got involved in the running game with a touchdown as well. So 3 total touchdowns to equal 27 points. Pretty solid. Matt Stafford has had 2 very bad weeks, 8.2 against San Francisco, 7 against New York, has Arizona this week.
I'm going to go. I always default to this season. If you're playing against Tampa Bay, you're starting their players.
I start Bryce Young. Yep.
I know this is
agree.
crazy. I'm saying Bryce Young here.
We need to go back and actually look at the stats of what fantasy has actually done against Tampa. Every week, how many points the quarterback scored, how many.
I mean, they have this thing called phone, and you could look that up real quick. I can do that real quick if you want me
I
to.
understand.
Next guy. I'm going to make this guy miserable. I promise you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. It's just Festivus. It's what we do here. Making me wear a sweater in this degree.
How many championships are you on again?
Not many. You want me to go on that rant again? I could do it. I can go on that rant all day, baby.
If you want to hear that rant.
I lost by 0.09.
Audric Estime, 9% of leagues. They're playing against the 14th most, the team that allows the 14th most points against the running back position. You had this guy on the list, so you can talk about him. I didn't even have him near my list.
I feel like Javonte Williams is dead.
Has been dead since he came into the league. Yeah.
I feel like Jaleel McLaughlin is just not good at football.
Javonte Williams scored more points than Audric Estime last week.
I know he did. But we drafted this guy as a guy who was supposed to take over the role as hold on. Back in the day, it was Najee and Javonte. North Carolina, right? We draft not this year. I'm just talking about when he came.
You're talking about 2021, yeah.
He was supposed to be the special running back that made, and then he got hurt, and then things just went on the downturn. And he's just basically a 10-point a game kind of running back. This guy Estime, he's coming in strong. He scored a touchdown last week, 48 total yards. He had 9 carries. I think his usage is going to go up as the season goes on because I feel like he's going to be not the new hotness, but he's definitely filled out a role for himself. I'm not saying go out there and start him this week. I'm just wanting to put him on this list to get an awareness out there where he could be someone next year. If you're in a keeper league, let's say, for example, and you're eliminated and you have a keeper rule where you can actually go pick up a player and keep him for whatever rule you have, he'd be a keeper option for me. I think he's going to do some things next year. Maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe I'm just, stupid, but he's 21. He's not even going to be 22 years old next year. He's not even going to be that. He was drafted in the 5th round for a reason because he was not as explosive as we want him to be. But Sean Payton has really, really found a role for him. I know it's limited. I understand. You're like, oh, Josh, what's going on? Why are you recommending this guy? When he gets in the game, he does well. He creates yards. He's a tough runner, 4.4 yards per carry. That's better than we can say about a lot of guys. He has 1 touchdown on the season. There's not much to go off on. Just is more of a gut feeling. I like him this week against Cincinnati. I think he's going to get more play as the season goes on into the, of course, playoffs. That's all.
I feel a lot more comfortable about him than I do Javonte. I actually drafted him in a lot of leagues this year. So, whereas since the beginning, when I heard you guys talking about Javonte Williams back in 2021, I was like, I don't know. And then he just continued. I mean, he was RB17 that year, but he has not been hurt that way since.
No.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same. He has not been the same next. All right, next guy. Oh, are we doing? Oh, yeah. These are the last 2 guys we're going to talk about. If all else fails, I love the new topic. I love the new thing. Hollywood Brown. What happened to Hollywood Brown?
Got hurt.
But he's on this list because he's back, baby. So are you confident? Because they went out and got Hopkins. Now they have Hollywood Brown coming back. They have Xavier Worthy. They have Travis Kelce. It seems like everything's coming together. Isaiah Pacheco's back. Everything's coming together for this team, and I'm in for it. I think Hollywood Brown's a very good wide receiver if he can stay healthy and on the field. How say you?
I mean, he played in 27% of snaps last week and got 8 targets. That's pretty big, and they're already talking about his snap share going up. This looks like the guy that they needed all season, with Rashee Rice being out. So first game back, already 8 targets, only 45 yards, but it's pretty good stat line to start, 9.5. Has to play a tough Pittsburgh defense who allows the 9th fewest points, and that's why he's so low on this list. Otherwise, if he is playing Tampa Bay, he'd be like the number 1 person on the list, I think. But if all else fails, you miss out on Rashad Bateman, Jalen McMillan, Romeo Doubs, Nick Westbrook-Akine. Go get Marquise Brown, because Patrick Mahomes has to throw it to somebody, right? And he hasn't had that receiver since Rashee Rice went out. Hopkins, selective weeks, but it seems like Hollywood Brown has stepped up into that role and now should be doing pretty well.
All right. And the last guy on our list, you put him on there, Patrick, or did I? Who knows? Patrick Taylor. Maybe. Did I?
Yeah.
Patrick Taylor for the San Francisco 49ers. Going against Detroit this week. They're a tough matchup. Is Garindo going to play this week? Is he on the injury report, or is he out for this? Is he pretty much out?
Let's look. Isaac Garindo is out.
Taylor didn't do anything special.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything special.
He's likely to practice on Thursday. Garindo is, so we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, I said this on Sunday. I was like, well, I guess when it comes down to the RB4 position for San Francisco, it's Deebo Samuel, because Deebo, I think, had more rushes than Patrick Taylor did. So this is a lot, like, oh my God, there's absolutely nobody. I have to start a running back. This is apparently the guy that you're going to maybe start. And
can we just take him off? Can we just take him off the list? Yeah. Never
no.
mind. Rescinded.
Nope. We're out of here.
Yeah, guys. You know, I don't know how to say this. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I'm going to try to turn this frown upside down and be happy. Once I actually get into the Christmas spirit tonight, making the cookies, putting out the water for the reindeer. You know, it's hot down here. The reindeer needs some water. The Santa Claus needs some cookies. I still got presents to wrap. Guys, it's been an amazing season all year long. Either way, win or lose, for me, honestly, it doesn't matter. This is all for show. I'm breaking the fourth wall. I don't care right now. I had a great season. I appreciate every single person that's been here since week 1 and anyone that's tagged along all the way and has come back for more. I really appreciate every single person. We hit our goal this year. We wanted 500 subs by the end of the year, and we reached that a couple weeks ago. Even, so I really appreciate all the support this year. Bigger things are coming in next year. I promise you that. Bigger things, better things, more people. It's going to be huge, and we're excited. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be back after Christmas. After Christmas is going to be a Thursday. I don't know why.
December 26th.
December 26th. I'm trying to play the music. And then we'll be back for our fantasy showdown. And then we'll be back again on Friday, of course.
Enjoy football tomorrow. 2 games tomorrow.
Oh, we have football tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. We got the Steelers, Chiefs, and Ravens.
I say that because try to enjoy it. If Netflix does what they did at the Mike Tyson fight, you won't be able to watch it. Streaming sucks. I'm not going to get back into it. We're happy,
Netflix
joy.
streaming sucks. Let's just be clear. Netflix Live sucks.
So if you're able to watch the games tomorrow on Netflix, congratulations. I probably won't be able to, but we'll see you on Thursday. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. Follow on X and Instagram at OUSFFPOD. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.